May 29th, 1453. Before the sun rises, the last emperor of Rome will be dead. The greatest walls ever built will fall, and a city that stood for 11 centuries will belong to someone else. This is the story of the day the Roman Empire finally died, nearly 1,000 years after the West had already fallen. By the 15th century, Constantinople was a ghost of its former self. Once home to 500,000 people, it now held barely 50,000. Entire neighborhoods stood empty. But its walls still stood. The Theodosian walls, triple-layered, 12 miles long, unbroken for over 1,000 years. No army had ever taken them by force. Constantinople was the last fragment of the Roman Empire. Its ruler, Constantine XI, held a title that stretched back to Augustus, but an empire that now barely extended past the city gates. Across the water, a 21-year-old sultan had a singular obsession: taking this city. His name was Mehmed II, and he had inherited an empire and an ambition far larger than himself. So Mehmed built the largest cannons the world had ever seen. One of them was so massive, it took 60 oxen and 400 men just to move it. On April 6, 1453, the bombardment began. For 53 days, Mehmed's cannons pounded walls that had never known artillery like this. At night, the defenders rebuilt by torchlight what the cannons had destroyed by day. Unable to force his fleet past the great chain blocking the harbor, Mehmed ordered his ships dragged overland on greased logs at night through the hills behind the city. By morning, the impossible had happened. The city was surrounded on every side. On the night of May 28th, church bells rang across the city, Orthodox and Catholic together, for the first and only time. Inside Hagia Sophia, thousands gathered for what many believed would be their final mass. Constantine XI addressed his soldiers. He told them this was the moment to defend their faith, their homeland, and their emperor. At 1:30 a.m., Mehmed launched his final assault. Wave after wave broke against the walls. A small gate had been left unlocked. Ottoman soldiers slipped through. At nearly the same moment, the commander defending the walls was struck down and carried from the field. Panic spread. The line broke. Constantine XI, seeing the end, tore off his imperial regalia so he would not be recognized in death, and charged into the fighting alongside his remaining men. He was never seen again. By midday, the Ottoman flag flew over the city. Mehmed rode to Hagia Sophia and ordered it transformed into a mosque, a role it would hold for the next 500 years. Constantinople didn't just fall. An age ended with it, and a new one began. Subscribe for more epic history stories.